Alright, that's good. Bob walk. Kind of bittersweet day today. Today is the last trip with this girl right here. She is on her final voyage, but that means she's going to go to somebody else's home where she's going to get used, fished, and catch a bunch of giants. But the plan is next week we should have the new boat fully rigged out, tweaked, and ready to catch some giants. But with that being said, today what we're going to do is we're going to fish a derby. Last day derby. We're gonna fish a derby with my buddy Charlie. Super cool dude, and he knows this lake. It's in Central Florida. It's one of those super clear lakes, and it's gonna be interesting too because it's a lake where you got to think about strategy. There's gonna be kind of it's not exactly a slot, but there's a length limit. We can have 4 under 16 inches and 1 gigunda, and there's a lot of small fish in this lake. A lot of like 1 pounder, 2 pounders, but getting that one big bite and then getting all those fish that are just under 16, like maybe 1 3/4, 2 pounders or so, is going to be absolutely huge. So weird techniques too, like weird techniques. We'll just super finessey stuff, crazy stuff. I'm gonna get out all my weird stuff. Probably have just as many spinning reels on deck as bait casters, that kind of lake. So this tournament format's a little different, and it's something I usually don't fish because usually I want to go out at freaking 6 in the morning and fish till 3 and GTFO. But this little shindig is kind of a little more relaxed. It's an afternoon format, and from what my buddy tells me, this lake fishes a lot better in the afternoon. So we're actually starting at 1. We're gonna fish till dark, or say like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And he's got kind of a strategy. Interesting time of year too. There's gonna be fish on beds, there's gonna be post-spawn fish offshore, there's gonna be schooling fish. So kind of balancing, picking which one you're targeting when is going to be probably integral, because it's going to be a game of like ounces. It's going to be tight weights. One big one is going to make all the difference. Should be kind of interesting, but it's kind of nice. I woke up late, woke up at like 7 o'clock. I can rig rods for a couple hours, piss around, shoot these videos, and then drive up and go fishing. Maybe even have lunch beforehand. So it should be kind of fun, but different format, different kind of tournament. Strategy is all going to be the key, and I got to get some stuff rigged up. So let's run through a couple of the rigs that we're going to have out at this tournament. As I mentioned, we're kind of in a transitional period, so I'm trying to be prepared for a variety of things, but not get too crazy, because I'm the kind of guy that could have 25 rods on the deck in like no time, because I like having a lot of crazy stuff. So basically though, can't go wrong with a drop shot rig, whether you got clear water or fish in transitional periods, post spawn, weird finicky deal. Tough to beat a drop shot. Don't got anything on this yet. What I'm probably going to put on is either a robo worm or a small little gambler shaky shad. I want something small, compact, semi-transparent, because the water's really clear. This guy, it might look to you just like a 3/8 ounce jig head, because it is. It's got a pretty stout hook for kind of the fishing that we're doing, but here's the deal. I'm going to put like a 3-inch swim bait or a 2.5-inch swim bait, a pretty small one. I wonder if I have one later on. I don't. Kind of like a gambler, Little Easy, or even a teasy, like just like that big. So there's a lot of glass minnows, a lot of schooling bait here, and what I can do with this thing, I got it on a 7-foot medium heavy and a high-speed reel. I can throw this thing about 46 miles. That was sarcastic. I can throw it a really far, long way, and if you see fish popping up a really far, long way out, I can fire it out there, and with that high-speed reel, I can burn it back. Because with these fish, when they're schooling like that, the faster you reel, the more likely you are to get them to bite, because they're tweaky, man. They're clear water tweakmeisters. So that's what this is for. Shout out to Benjamin Nowak on this one. He's made me a blade believer. This is a little custom blade bait that Benjamin Nowak, check him out on YouTube, makes. It's freaking sweet. I was trying to fish a gigantic one, and I caught some fish on it. This guy, that's a 3/4 ounce. I'm sure there's situations where I want to fish that bigger one, but for these smaller tweaky fish, when you're kind of like sight fishing them under the boat, when I say sight fishing, like video game fishing them, this thing's killer. Rapala, I forget which one this is. It's the I Can Cast You a Mile Rapala. So it's like a smaller, shorter spook. You want a smaller little like bait, but did you want something that you can cast really far for those schoolies? my new favorite finesse rig, Ned rig. We'll probably use this both on a bed as well as offshore. I don't think these fish where we're going have ever seen anything like this, and they're real tweaky to bite, so I'm excited to get it to work. I'm still working on tying some stuff up, but actually I got one more for you, and then I'll show you what else I'm doing here. This guy, it's spinning tackle, 10-pound fluorocarbon leader to 12-pound 12-pound mainline. It's just a 1/4 ounce ball head with a little bit of an arch to it. Okay, so you guys, most of you guys know this, but Florida people usually don't know this, is using like a little 1/4 ounce shaky head like this with like a little 4-inch worm or something is absolutely killer for sight fishing or bed fishing on clear water body, like clear water areas. Like we do it, we used to do it all the time up in Wisconsin, but like for this super clear water sight fishing, it's really manageable on a spinning rod, and that jig just kind of sits like that and you can twitch it. Make sure that hook tip's all right. Yeah, it's good. But those short little baits, you miss a lot less fish sight fishing, and you can use like a little white worm. It's I don't think Florida people know about it, but they don't fish that many like deeper, clearer kind of places like this. But this is sight fishing kind of setup. This, I haven't switched it out yet, but basically it's going to be a 1/4 ounce. I got to change the bait. This is going to be the heavy duty sight fishing setup. It's got 18-pound fluorocarbon. If I see a fish in a Kissimmee grass hole or something like that where I'm afraid to bust out that 10-pound fluorocarbon, this is what's going to come out. I'm not saying we're going to use all these rods and reels. I just want to be prepared. My buddy Charlie like knows this lake like the back of his hand. Like he understands this place, and he fishes it a little different than how I look at it. But I want to be prepared because it is, I keep coming back to it, it is a transitional time. Like there's going to be post small fish, there's going to be fish on beds, there's going to be fish roaming and schooling. So we really got to be ready because we haven't pre-fished at all. We're fishing blind, dude, and we're gonna kind of go with the flow. So I got to be ready equipment wise because I want to be efficient doing everything else, and if I can save some time by having stuff rigged up, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna get back to it. FYI, I do have a hair jig tied up over there, and I think I'll have a 10XD and an underspin. But that's about the arsenal for today's little journey. And we'll see you at the ramp. Well, I just got here and it's blowing. Friggin' white caps, but we can play the wind, maybe look for some sight fish. You gotta be creative. I like this though, dude. It's like a pickup game in basketball, but for fishing. Friggin' blowing. All right, here we go, boys. Charlie, derby day, pickup game of tournament fishing, and fluorescent green water, dude.
Green water. Yeah. It's like goes from green to clear, and it's back and forth. So.
Well, whatever. Here we go. We got 5 hours. Well, no, it was not a winner chicken dinner for the last trip with the boat, sadly. But actually, it turned out pretty cool because one of my good friends won. Him and his wife fished. They caught a freaking stud, like an 8-pounder, dude. Giant for that lake, like absolute freaking giant. And funny little note, like he caught it like pitching like a black and blue worm. You know, I'm all like got like green pumpkin and all this transparent crazy finesse stuff. He caught it like straight up traditional Florida fishing on braid. Funny deal, but absolute giant. And it was a good way to go out with the old boat, man. I love that boat. It's seen so many great days with me, but it's time for change. You got to embrace that change, and the new boat's gonna be pretty sweet. So that's a wrap. Last voyage, a lot of memories, but time to let her go. So till next time, guys, support real fishing. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like it and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you very soon in the new boat. Tight lines. All right, that's good. Bob watching.